Oh my god, I'm growing a freaking beard and everything. It's been a minute. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm back. Here to talk about One Piece. Yeah, let's go. It's been quite a minute since I've done a video pertaining to One Piece, and it's not because One Piece has been bad at all. The only reason why I haven't been reviewing or talking about One Piece is just because I just haven't really been talking about a lot of manga lately. Well, in my last videos I have, but I haven't been reading a lot of manga. The only manga I've been reading is One Piece. There were some moments that I really liked, especially the stuff pertaining to Brook. I love Brook. He's been kind of like the shining light in this arc. I like the stuff in the beginning, the basic setup for the whole Vinsmoke coming in and like their whole dynamic with Sanji, and the fact that Sanji basically he had no real options of what he could do or where to go, because he had the things dealing with the handcuffs. He had the whole situation where they were gonna kill Zeph, which I was really upset about because I love Zeph. You guys love Zeph. Everybody loves Zeph. So yeah, it's one of those type of situations that I honestly loved because it was so complicated, and it would really require the Straw Hats to really think about how they were going to solve the entire scenario regarding that. What I love about the whole Cake Island arc so far is the fact that it's been building up a lot of things. We have some slight character development for some characters, and like some of the action has been pretty good. We've gotten some Brook spotlight. There's been some funny moments, but overall, so far, the whole Cake Island, I have to be completely honest, is kind of disappointing to me. Dressrosa was way, way worse than this arc. Like, this arc hasn't really, it's not done yet. I feel like it's not done yet. It still has a long way to go, but I feel like my issues with this arc are two things, okay? Number one is the rushing. It is rushing too much, like, possible quality content. Events within the story that could have been great. We just rushed past them, like in the earlier parts of this arc with the whole Nami situation, when Nami and Luffy, after Sanji left, he like beat Luffy up, and Luffy was like, I'm not gonna eat until you come back. And then you had it to where like Nami had to basically protect Luffy because Luffy was not going to move from that spot until Sanji came back. Whole drama that happened in that moment could have been expanded on more, but instead of expanding on that, we skipped past it. Not just skipping past that, but the whole thing dealing with Brook, like that would have been awesome. Seeing Brook go up against Big Mom, one of the Yonkos, I would have love to see that. But my issue with that whole situation was the fact that they did not expand on it. They did not show it. They didn't show the fight between Tomago and Pedro. That whole situation, that would have been great. I would have been just out of my world happy to see that, but we didn't see anything, and I was just really upset. A lot of people in the past, they just complained about the slow pacing. They just had issues with the fact that One Piece has slow pacing, it's not going as fast. It didn't go as fast because it took its time to develop the events that happened, and it just had, the buildup was done so well to the point where you enjoyed the journey to getting to these big moments. If you don't have the journey to get to these big moments, it's not as exciting. Another person that commented on this was in Co-Provider's video, I think on chapter 853, when he was talking about the whole situation with Brook and how he didn't even get to see any of it, and how the whole Pedro versus Tomago situation was just solved by just a couple explosions, and then the whole fight was over, and we couldn't see the extent of Tomago's abilities, which he felt, which I agree, were pretty interesting. The whole cluck fruit, that was interesting. I agree with that whole argument about that being interesting, and I would have liked to see that and see the potential that could have had, but because we didn't get focused on that characterization and we just got focused on stuff that we already know and that's been building up and that's been happening, it's not really as exciting anymore. It just feels like we're waiting. It feels like nothing's happening while stuff is happening, and it's nerve-wracking, It's really nerve-wracking. Not to say that Whole Cake Island as an arc is bad. We haven't seen the full extent of what it can do, but it's just not, it's not as good as it could be. That's all I'm saying. It's not, it could be way better if they just slowed the pacing down and took its time to actually develop these situations. You know, what I said, I'm basically repeating what I said before. My second gripe with this arc is the fact that situations are being solved way too simply with like little things when these situations are not that simple. Like the whole thing where we went to go get Brooke back. That was funny, but I felt like it was too serious of a situation and too crazy to the point where it was like the resolution to that situation was kind of trivial, and I was just like, why is it so? It was kind of underwhelming. It was funny. I had the situation regarding Sanji in the handcuffs, which I was really kind of just like turned off by that, because it was like, so he had nothing to worry about in the first place with the handcuffs because Reiju basically disarmed them to begin with. So why didn't Reiju tell him that before, and why did we have to get all this drama pertaining to the situation? And another thing I didn't like, while everybody else was hype about this, I mean, I enjoyed the fact that it brought clarity to the situation, but I felt like it kind of did at the cost of the story, and that was the whole situation pertaining to Pudding. Like, I thought that, why are they revealing all of these details so quickly? They revealed way too much in that short period of time. Just did that for the sake of the audience and for Sanji knowing, because if Sanji didn't know about that, it's pretty likely that Sanji would have died, and all the Vinsmokes would have died if Sanji didn't know about that. So we needed some way for Sanji to figure it out, and it was too simple. It was kind of like he didn't really put too much thought into that. It was just like, okay, she's just gonna bladder all this out randomly, but it was kind of pointless because she erased Reiju's memory, so why did she go out of her way to explain this to somebody? The build-up for this arc was phenomenal. I love the build-up for this arc. The learning about Sanji's family, to the whole situation pertaining his dad, learning about Sanji's full backstory. I love the backstory part. That was done great. It brought me to tears. All that stuff was great, okay? All that stuff was great. Learning about Big Mom's abilities, I like that. It really brought the stress and the fear in that particular situation. I like that. What else? There's a list of things I liked, okay? There's a list. The arc before this arc was great. Queen Dressrosa and Whole Cake. I liked the Zoe arc because we got revelations about Raftel and all this stuff pertaining the Poneglyphs and Kaido. Like, everybody who's a One Piece fan loves Kaido, and like freaking Zoro is going to Wano while Luffy and them goes to Whole Cake to get Sanji. That was great. But I'm just speaking overall, the Whole Cake Island arc is just like kind of underwhelming, and it could have been better. The things I liked about this arc is the fact that we got Jinbei. Jinbei's back, and I love Jinbei. Everybody loves, like, I don't know about everybody. I don't know if everybody likes Jinbei, but I like Jinbei. Ever since Marineford, I've been waiting to see Jinbei come back into the full-on story. Well, no, wasn't he in Fishman Island? I think he was in Fishman Island. I have to reread One Piece. But yeah. Is One Piece terrible? No, but this arc is underwhelming. Like I've said time and time again, there is the possibility of Wano Kuni and this final war arc being extremely, extremely good. Okay, the whole thing, we had Blackbeard meeting up with the Revolutionary Army, and then Kaido, and then, all that stuff was interesting, but the build-up, the journey there matters too. We can't just skip through the journey there and give all these simple solutions to the problem. And another thing, this is my number one issue, okay, is the voice that hears all things. Okay, that is something that I am not really into, because just think about it. Luffy can hear the voice of all things. What is the and he can that's how he'll figure out about the stuff pertaining to, you know, Roger and going to Raftel and stuff like that. Then it kind of takes away the need for Robin. It takes away the need for Robin, and that was a revelation that I was just like on the fence about. I was like, what? Like, no, no. Like, no, just stop, Oda. Just stop. I don't think this is Oda's fault. Partially, I think it's because of the editors, and I think that this is showing early signs that Toriko and Bleach showed. This is a sign that it's starting to get rushed, and I'm worried. I do not want One Piece's quality declining in the cost of its rushing. The last thing I want to say is that we have yet to see an arc post time skip that is at the quality of pre time skip. We have yet to see an arc that's of the same quality, because like Sabaody, Ennis Lobby, Arlong Park, Marineford, Impel Down, we have yet to see an arc post time skip that is any good compared to those. Like the arcs are pretty decent. They're decent at best, but they are not in comparison. I have yet to see that, and I'm really hoping Oda can make this up, you know, in the future. He has a lot of making up to do, but so far right now, I'm kind of on the fence. You know, I still like One Piece. I still love One Piece. I'm still going to continue reading One Piece, but, you know, it's really got to, like, step it up, you know. It's got to step it up, okay? Anyway, especially if it's going to be, like, if eventually it's going to be the second largest grossing comic book sold in the entire world, like, it's got to step its game up, man.